brought the 59 Olds into the garage to do a little work on it. It needs a new master cylinder. The one we had sprung a leak. Filled it back up, got our brakes back, but it's still leaking, so we're just gonna go ahead and swap it out so we'll be safe and sound and good to go down the road.
Right now we're removing the single pot master cylinder, and we're going to be putting a dual pot master cylinder on this. It does have the original drum brakes all the way around. It's just the dual master cylinder will be much better to split the lines. You never lose brakes if the master cylinder goes bad. So if you remember from our video last week, we fired this thing up, pushed on the pedal, and there was 0 brakes. So all I did was fill up the master cylinder with brake fluid. I didn't bleed them, I didn't do anything, and we got brakes this week. So it's telling me the master cylinder's leaking in the back. We'll verify that once I get it off. But while I'm taking it apart, we've got a Wilwood dual pot master cylinder we're going to stick back on it. So we'll have to split the lines, as I said before, and bleed it out and get it going. Rotate your power steering lines.
So what are you doing here? Rotating the power steering?
I'm going to attempt to, yep.
Got some lines here in the way.
Rotate a return line also. Tight. should make adequate room for the master cylinder. Before the hoses come right through here, now they're routed out of the way. These master cylinders have 4 ports, so you can mount lines on either side. So we're just capping the side we're not going to use. I got to remove the single brake line and then split them underneath the car. That's right here. Make a couple new brake lines come up through so we can mount them to the new master cylinder. Then we'll work on bleeding the master cylinder out and getting brakes back on this thing. So under here we got the junction block for where everything came together. So that's where I'm going to be splitting the lines. My collection of brake fittings over the years.
Don't hang on to these things because you never know when you might need them.
That's right. Brake fittings come in handy. Especially when you go to the auto parts store and you have to know the year, the make, the model, the engine size before you can get anything. Those are the 2 fittings I need for the block. So we got to plug one side of the block here, you can see. I think Shauna got a good shot of the plug. This goes to the other one, and this will plumb to one side of the master cylinder, so that fits. Now all we need is a female to female so we can make the rear brakes work. So we'll go around over here and dig in the box some more. That might be a winner. That's exactly what we need. So we have all of the fittings. 3/8 brake line, coil stock. We're gonna make some brake lines here, so I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Recycling here.
Yes, we recycle parts. So what do you have here?
This is a brake flaring kit. And I can't get the handle out of the blow mold case. This kit's from Eastwood. You can do basically 3/16 to 3/8 brake lines here. So it does your double flares in a couple steps. Pretty slick device. I recommend everybody having it. Works very well. All right, we'll get a brake line and show you how it's done. Start with a normal piece of brake line. You bring it in here, in between the dies. Line it right up flush with the front of the die. Clamp it down. Tighten the die down. Go to operation 1, and operation 1's complete. Going to open it up. I'll show you what operation 1 does. Operation 1 forms it like that. Operation 2 will sink it for the double flare. So operation 2 complete. Open it up. You have a perfect double flare every time. Can't go wrong with it. What do you think, Shauna?
I agree.
All right. I don't know our approximate length just yet, so I'm actually going to put a fitting on each side of this line, and then we'll drop the car back down and figure out what length we need stuff here in a couple minutes. I'm going to have to clearance the inner well a little bit for the master cylinder to fit. Since we put in the block off bolt, it hits the inner well, so we'll have to massage that over.
What is that you have?
Tubing cutter. Just roll it around the tube a few times. It scores it. As you can see there. Just bend it back and forth and pops right loose. So that's what we need for brake lines.
So that's all we needed right there?
That's it. I gotta put some flares on the other ends. And we can, then this is the copper nickel brake line. It's very easy to bend. So works very well on some retrofits. I've used both. Just with the motor and everything being in it and not being able to use a bender easily, this stuff works very well.
So now what do you have?
Got a handy dandy little bender. So you can make nice bends very quickly. Stick it in here. Get it going the right way, the direction you want.
Very nice.
All right, now we're going back up. I'm gonna install these lines underneath the car and we'll bring them up, get them fit for the master cylinder, and then we'll bleed the master cylinder and get this thing ready to button up.
What are you trying to do to it?
We just gotta bleed it. I do have a smaller vise right over here. about that?
I like it.
Wilwood supplies this nice little brake bleeding kit, instructions, and then all the different adapters you might need for your application. Trying to figure out which ones we need, orange or red. That's why they make instructions.
Are you going to read the instructions?
No. Red is what we need. How about that? Look good?
What do you say?
Looks good. Here, the instructions are for you. These fancy little lines in there like that. Flip them around and hook them up. Like that. And you're about to be ready to bleed brakes. Add fluid. I'm going to use this fancy spark plug applicator to bleed. So if you'll watch, as you're bleeding these, oh, I'm going to get something that's a lot more comfortable for my hand. That is rough. See here, you just go until you don't have any more air.
Yeah, we can see there are fewer bubbles inside that line there. And that's what we're looking for.
So once you bleed all the air out, you're ready to put it on the car, hook up the brake lines. So as you remember, we need to massage right here on our wheel well to make some clearance. That should do it. Let's see what we got here. Perfect. So now we're going to attach the brake lines. So the minute you take these things loose, fluid is going to start flowing. So you got to be pretty quick. As you can see there, see it dripping? So the goal is to have your lines pretty accurate so you can get them attached relatively quickly. That way you got minimum fluid loss. Now the back on this one is for the back brakes because the reservoir was smaller, and then the front on this one is for the front because it has the larger reservoir. Now in an ideal application, this will be used for disc brakes on the front of a car. That is the overall goal for this, is to eventually get some disc brakes on the front. But for right now, we are just gonna swap master cylinders out to make this thing safe, a whole lot safer to drive. All right. So as you heard me say that the fluid will flow through there, so we're gonna lift this car up. I'm gonna crack the lines to where we just spliced. It'll make the bleeding process so much easier. So we're gonna lift this thing back up and I'm gonna let some fluid flow down through there. But all in all, master cylinder's in, bleeding process yet to happen. Cleaners still hasn't moved. And there you can see the fluid is pushing the air out as we're watching, just from above, and gravity is taking over, making this bleeding process a whole lot simpler than trying to push the air out through the wheel cylinder in the front or the back. So there we go. Time to do the other one. Should give us the same result. There we go. Same on this side, as you can see, running fluid.
Got a new battery here, new master cylinder. We've got brakes, and we are purring like a kitten, smoking like a freight train. Off to get some gas.
Good luck.